Good morning friends. In the previous video we have seen regarding the working stress method. In that we have seen a derivation of singly reinforced beam for a balanced section. Now in this video we are going to solve some numerical problems on the working stress method. So first, before doing that, let us see how to calculate the effective depth of a given beam section. So let us consider a beam which is of width 230 mm and overall depth of 500 mm. Overall depth of 500 mm, that is from this top till this bottom. This is nothing but the overall depth. Next is our aim is to calculate this effective depth. Effective depth is nothing but distance from the center of the reinforcement, from this center of this reinforcement till the top of the extreme compression fiber. So for example, further if I want to show it clearly, so this is one bar, this is another bar and this is another bar we have. So this is the bottom face of the beam and this is the top face of the beam. So effective depth is nothing but distance from this top till the center of this reinforcement. This is nothing but the effective depth. Center of this reinforcement I want to calculate. So that we call it as effective depth, and this clear distance what we have. So this is nothing but the clear cover what we have. Clear cover. This is called as clear cover. So next we will try to calculate this effective depth. So how to calculate now? So this can be calculated as, we can take this bottom cover as 30 mm. This bottom, from the bottom of the beam to the bottom of this reinforcement, this clear distance what we have, that is clear cover, we can take clear cover as 30 mm. Capital D is nothing but overall depth, that we have is 500 mm. Then next I want to calculate this effective depth. So how to calculate effective depth now? Overall depth, that is 500 mm minus of this clear cover has to be subtracted, that is 30 mm cover we have to subtract. Then next is you want the distance up to the center of this reinforcement. So this diameter of the bar is 16 mm we have. So therefore half means it will be 8 mm. So 8 mm will be the up to the centroid of the reinforcement. Right? 50 minus of 30 minus of 8 will get answer as 462 mm. This is nothing but the effective depth of the beam. Similarly, we can see another problem. So wherein the bars are being placed in two layers. So here in this we have 5 bars of 16 mm dia. So here at the bottom we have 3 bars. At the top we have 2 bars. So totally 5 bars we have. Now how to calculate the effective depth of this beam? Again same beam dimensions we have. 230 mm is the width and 500 mm is the depth of the beam. So how to calculate now? So the center of what you can say, this reinforcement, for example, if you see this is one bar, what you can say, we have 2 bars here. So at the bottom we have 3 bars, 1, 2 and 3 bars here. So now effective depth will be center of this to the top compression fiber. Center of this till top compression fiber, this we can call it as the effective depth. These are bottom 3 bars. These are top 2 bars. Bottom 3 bars are this, top 2 bars are this. Now our aim is to calculate what will be this distance D, effective depth. So how to calculate now? Let us see. So effective depth is equal to overall depth, that is total distance, that is 500 mm minus of this clear cover, minus you can take this as 30 mm cover. Next is minus of 16 mm dia bars. Minus 16 mm dia bars, that is for first layer. Next we can take the spacing between these 2 bars. We can take the spacing between these 2 bars, that is I will show you this. So spacing between this bar and this bar, this clear distance what you are seeing, so that we will take it as 20 mm, right? So half of that means it is 10 mm. So therefore this is half means 10 minus of 10, that is center of 2 layers. So if we calculate 500 minus 56, it will be 444 mm. So in this way we are going to calculate the effective depth. Similarly for other beam slabs we are going to calculate in this way itself. Next is we will try to calculate the design constant for a following material considering the balanced design for singly reinforced section. The materials are M20 and mild steel. So for this we'll try to calculate the design constants. So let us calculate now. We have this beam, we have M20 grade of concrete, and we have the mild steel. So we have to calculate this permissible stresses in concrete and permissible stresses in steel. So this we are going to get it from the IS 456 2000. In the last video already I had shown you, but once again let me show you. If we refer this IS 456 2000, they have given permissible stresses in concrete. They have given it as we are going to get it from table number 21 and 23. So this is table number 21, permissible stresses in concrete. We have grade of concrete as M20 and permissible stress in compression, that is we require sigma CBC value. For M20 it is 7. So therefore sigma CBC will be 7 Newton per mm square. Next is we have to take this sigma ST. So that also they have given the table. That is, if you see at the bottom they have given one table, that is permissible stresses in steel reinforcement. So we have mild steel bars. So permissible stresses in Newton per mm square for mild steel bars, that is we require sigma ST. So up to 20 mm bars it is 140 Newton per mm square. Above 20 it is 130. So ours is less than 20 mm, you can say it is 140 Newton per mm square. So this will be the value 140 Newton per mm square. Then next is we have to calculate this modular ratio M. So already we have seen this formula in the earlier video itself, that is 280 divided by 3 sigma CBC. Sigma CBC is nothing but permissible stresses in concrete due to bending compression, that is 7. If we substitute 280 divided by 3 into 7, that will be equal to 13.33. Next is we'll try to calculate the design constants. So we have neutral axis constant, lever arm constant, and moment of resisting factor constant we have. So that we'll try to calculate for a balanced singly reinforced section. Already this formula we have seen, that is K is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus sigma ST divided by M into sigma CBC. Already we know the sigma ST value, that is 140 Newton per mm square. M also already we have calculated here. Sigma CBC also we have here. So if you substitute these values, you will get answer of K as 0.4. This is nothing but neutral axis constant. Next we will try to calculate the lever arm constant, that is J. J is equal to 1 minus of K divided by 3. K already we have calculated, that is 0.4. 1 minus 0.4 divided by 3, it will be 0.866 or approximately 0.87. Next we will try to calculate moment of resistance constant, that is Q balance. Already this formula also we have seen, that is half sigma CBC multiplied by K by J. Just now we have calculated K, J, sigma CBC we know. If you substitute here, that is 7.4 and 0.866, we get value as 1.21. That is moment of resistance constant. Then next is we can calculate this PT balance, that is percentage of steel for a balanced section. This formula also already we have seen. So everything is known to us, sigma CBC is known to us, K is known to us, sigma ST is known to us. If you substitute here, we will get answer as 1. In this way what we can do, we can calculate these design constants. So these are some design constants for a balanced section. Just now we have solved a problem, that is M20 grade and mild steel. Mild steel is nothing but Fe250. So for sigma CBC, this will get from the code book. Just now what values we have calculated, that is K, J, Q balance and PT. These values just now we got. Similarly, what we can do is for M20 grade of concrete and for Fe415 steel, you can calculate these values. You can take this as an assignment, you can solve this and you can send me the solutions. The same way what we have done in the earlier slide, same thing you have to do. In same formulas you substitute, you will get these values. Next we'll take another problem which is of a rectangular beam of size 250 mm by 520 mm effective depth. In the previous problem the depth given was overall depth, but here directly effective depth they have given. That means small d directly they have given, we need not calculate. Find out the balanced depth of neutral axis, balanced lever arm, balanced moment of resistance and balanced steel area for M20 grade concrete and HYSD Fe415 grade steel. So let us try to calculate now. So B they have given, that is 250, D they have given, that is this is small d is nothing but effective depth, that is 520 mm. So we have to refer the code book. Sigma CBC value we will get it from table number 21 of IS 456 2000, that is 7 Newton per mm square, and sigma ST will be 230 Newton per mm square. Then next in the previous table I had shown you for M20 and Fe415 steel, that is for HYSD bars, already I had shown in the table. Same thing, that is Q, K balance, PT and J values. This you can calculate like earlier what we had calculated, and after this we can substitute further. So if you want to calculate the depth of the balanced or critical neutral axis, X, that is equal to K axis, X, that is equal to K into D. K is 0.29, D is 520, so therefore it will be 150.8 mm. Then next is lever arm, that is equal to J into D. J is 0.9, D is 520, you will get answer as 468 mm. Next is moment of resistance of a balanced section, that is Q balance into B D square. Already we have this value multiplied by V value multiplied by D value. So as to convert it from Newton to meter and from Newton to kilonewton, we will multiply by 10 raised to minus 6. We get answer in 61.52 kilonewton meters. Then next is we can calculate AST balance, area of steel required for a balanced section. This formula also already we have seen, PT balance multiplied by BD by 100. PT is 0.44 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 520 divided by 100. So that will be equal to 572 mm. 4 meter span, which is carrying a load of 26 kilonewton meter. The beam width is 230 mm and find the depth and steel area for a balanced design. Our concrete is M20 grade and mild steel reinforcement. In the previous examples, moment was given to us, based on that we had calculated. But here in this case they have given one simply supported beam. So this is one beam we have, simply supported beam. So above this they have given now UDL. UDL is how much? 26 kilonewton per meter. Now based on this UDL you have to calculate what is the maximum moment. What is the maximum moment? Moment will get maximum at the center. So how to calculate moment when it is being provided with UDL? WL square by 8. WL square by 8. W is how much? 26. So 26 into span is how much? 4 meters. WL square by 8. So you will get answer as 52 kilonewton meter. So this already you can get it from the table, that is 1.21. Then next is how to calculate the effective depth required and area. Already we have seen in the previous video, so that you can refer. So D will be equal to square root of M divided by Q balance multiplied by B. So M is 52, you substitute here 52. Divided by Q balance is 1.21 multiplied by 230, that will be equal to 432.3 mm. This much depth is required so as to get a balanced section. This is nothing but the effective depth D. Next is the area of steel required for a balanced section. So formula is M divided by sigma ST into J into D. M is 52 into 10 raised to 6. So it is in kilonewton meter. Kilonewton meter, we will try to convert it into Newton mm. Multiplied by sigma ST is 140, J is 0.87, D is 432. If you do, you will get answer as 988 mm square. This much area of steel is required. Now how many bars have to be provided? That has to be calculated. So what I will do, I will take 16 mm dia for example. So what will be the area of one bar? We can calculate, that is area of one bar, that will be equal to pi divided by 4 into d square, 16 square. If you do pi by 4 into d square, that is pi by 4 into 16 square. So you will get answer as 201 mm square, 201 mm square, 201 mm square, right? So but how much area is required for us? 988. So what we can do, we can provide 5 numbers of bars. 5 multiplied by 201. So it will be 1005 mm square. This is greater than 988 mm square. So it will be safe. So therefore what we can do, we are going to provide 5 bars of 16 mm dia. We are going to provide 5 bars of 16 mm dia. So if you want to provide, you can provide 12 mm bars also. If you want, you can provide 20 mm dia bars also. Based on area of one bar, so how many bars have to be provided, that has to be calculated. And it has to be greater than this area of steel, so as to get a balanced section. So as we have 5 bars, so what we can do, 3 bars we can place it at a bottom and 2 bars we can place it at a top. So all the 5 bars, if you are going to place at bottom, we are going to have congestion of the reinforcement. It becomes very difficult to pour the concrete. So therefore 3 at the bottom and 2 at the top we can provide. Then next is we can calculate the overall depth of the beam now. Already we have calculated the effective depth. We have calculated the effective depth 432.3 mm. That is center of this what you can say reinforcement. From top we have calculated this distance, that is center of this, that is 434. Then next if you take this 20 mm spacing, so plus 10 has to be added, plus diameter of the bar has to be added, plus clear cover has to be added. So if you see here, up to this center we have calculated. Up to this center is 434, that is effective depth. From this center till this reinforcement, we have clear distance is 10 mm, total 20 mm. So half will be 10 mm here, plus diameter of the bar, that is 16, plus this clear cover 30 mm can take. So as to calculate the overall depth of the beam, that is 432.3 plus 20 divided by 2, spacing between 2 bars, plus 16 mm dia bottom bars, plus clear cover, that is clear bottom cover what is 30 mm. If you add up, you will get answer as 488.3 mm. So this is nothing but overall depth of the beam which is required. But usually what happens is that we are not going to have it in fractions or some other odd numbers. So generally you can round it off to somewhat higher value. So generally in Bijapur what we do, based on inches, what we do, we convert like 450 mm, 525 mm we are going to provide. But you can take here as 488, you can take it as 490 mm. So therefore now effective depth will be equal to 490 mm is the overall depth, minus clear cover at the bottom, that is 30 mm, minus this bar, that is 16 mm, minus this total clear distance is 20 mm divided by 2, that is 10. So therefore this will be 434 mm.